working out and food prep. There you go. That's good. Good habits to get into. Better, healthier food preparation and eating and diet in general, combined with exercise. 2 things I could use more of.
Got a little exercise today.
I did, and with that, we'll say hello and welcome to Ownin the Evening. This is the Owndog. That's Alma.
Hello.
And so we were talking a bit about exercise, and yeah, that is true. I did get some exercise today. They had a dad's day or a dad's walk at my daughter's school. So my youngest daughter has just started public school, 4th grader. She's been homeschooled up to this point, so very excited to get to go to school and very excited to blossom into the social butterfly that she is. But they had a dad's walk, which I'm not exactly sure what a dad's walk is, but what it amounted to was we all hung out in the parking lot.
Wow.
I mean, that's basically what it was. They had like a snack and a drink, but it was funny because it was very disorganized and disheveled, and the snacks were staggered. Some folks got a muffin that was, a prepackaged, pre-wrapped muffin. Then other people, because they came through later, they didn't have any more muffins. So they were handing out like little packets of donuts, the frosted donuts. And then they ran out of those. So they were giving out real Dunkin' Donuts. And that's when my daughter and I happened to go through. So we got some like really good donuts.
Nice.
So we lucked out. And then she waited for juice. Like she drank my Sunny Delight and then waited for juice. And the juice finally came at the end of it. But yeah, it was effectively waiting in a parking lot, just kind of hanging out. It was cool to be able to meet some of her friends and then some of her friends' parents, which was kind of interesting. And, they're right above a track. And so I wonder, like, if the dad's walk, I thought maybe it was supposed to entail, like, you get your snack and you do a lap around the track or something. But we did not go down to the track. Nobody seemed to go down to the track. So I don't know what the heck the walk part of the dad's walk was, but...
Well, for you, it was getting there.
Yes.
You actually did dad's walk to school today.
Well, that swings us back to exercise, and I sure did. It's about a mile, just over a mile to my daughter's school. And as you know, if you longtime listener, we're still without car. So our transportation situation has not changed. So in order to get to said's easy for me to say, in order to get to said dad's walk, I had to, in fact, walk. So we walked to school this morning. By the end of it, my daughter was complaining about her legs. Now, I never walk anywhere. In fact, I am like a rock. I'm like Prudential Insurance. I am Groot. I am rooted to this chair. That's State Farm.
Oh, yeah.
Prudential Insurance. Did you say the State Farm jingle?
I'm on top of it.
Oh my God!
Whatever. I sang it. I did it.
Alma's tired tonight. So as we're coming in here, and, you just got to be honest, Alma's tired.
Alma is tired.
Jess over in the YouTube chat says, dads walk out to the donuts. That's right, man. I had a chocolate iced donut. It was amazing. It was top notch. I was glad to have it.
Well, that's pretty cool that you got donuts.
Yeah. Donuts make you go nuts, man.
It was nice that you got to walk with her, because she actually chose to walk instead of taking the normal ride to school, because she wanted more time with you.
She did.
So she wanted that talk, that walk, that extra dad time, because, one of my thoughts for a topic was, more social life means less family life. And
It
she
does.
she has been feeling the brunt of that. She's been hanging out with the neighbor across the street. She just had a play date at a new friend's house last night. And, you know, she keeps saying, I have a social life. I finally have a social life. But today was like a coming to of realizing that she's missing her family, specifically dad.
Yeah, I've been missing her, so I understand. It's one of those things where we've talked about before. It's kind of bittersweet to see them grow up. This is one of those moments because you appreciate the fact that she's growing and finding new friends and becoming the wonderful person that you know she's bound to be. And at the same time, she's moving away from you and just growing up a little bit. And yeah, bittersweet. But it was good to be able to walk with her. I thought that was sweet that she wanted to do the walk to be able to have more time. And so we did. We walked and we kind of talked on the way. And, we hustled. We made it faster than than the directions said we'd make it. If you map it out, it says it's a 25-minute walk or whatever. We were able to make it in under 20.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, we hustled, and after the snacks and she got her juice, everybody was going inside. She didn't want to go inside early. She wanted to take every last minute of the dad's walk time. They got a pass to go back to first period. It was pretty swanky. So like your dad had to sign in, and if your dad was not there, then you had to go to first period. So it was like a big thing. She's like, I wonder where my friend is. I was like, well, maybe her dad couldn't come today. And after all was said and done, she wanted to play tag. So we're running around in the parking lot playing tag. And I'm still faster than her. I don't get up. I'm like I said, I'm like a rock. I'm stuck here in this house. I don't go anywhere. I only walk to and from the kitchen to shove food in my face. But no, I still can outrun my fourth grader. So there's at least that. I believe I could outrun both of my older children still at this point.
Probably. I think so.
I think I'm in better shape than I think that I am, but I'm not in very good shape.
Yeah, it's nothing to.
Either way, my body is it does what I tell it. It works for me.
You do that. You come you challenge your body and like you make it do what you want it to do. And like it seems so uncomfortable.
Well, and a day like today where I had to walk effectively 2.5 miles or so, it was good. Like my back hurts now. It hurt at the end of it, but I was able to get myself through it. So, and I'll be honest, the process of it all didn't feel hard. It didn't feel extremely difficult. I wasn't stressing. I wasn't under duress. Like I was able to get through it comfortably. So applause for me. Yay.
Yay. Good job.
For those listening, that was me clapping for myself because Alma did not clap one time.
Alma's holding her mic with one hand,
Whose
so
fault is
no
that?
clap was happening.
Whose fault?
Yeah.
Whose fault is it that you don't clip your mic pack?
You know what? It's your fault.
Wow. Well, there you go.
I don't know why or how, but it is.
Now, here's something that, yeah, for the next one here, I really wanted to, it'd be good if we had BGD here.
Oh, goodness.
Just because it's kind of a D&D centered thing. But as I was walking today, I realized that I am not a Dungeons and Dragons adventurer. And while it might sound weird to say that, of course I'm not a Dungeons and Dragons adventurer. I can't cast spells. I understand. But I don't have the adventurer's mindset. Forget about the fact that I can't cast spells. It's a different world we live in than the world we adventure in. And I believe that we behave very differently than we would ever behave as an adventurer. And it just was interesting to me because as I walked home today, there was a car. Let's take a typical situation. You're in a Dungeons and Dragons party. You're walking and traveling, and all of a sudden you come across a broken down carriage right in the middle of the path, the road that you're walking on. What do? Well, in my case today, I keep on walking. That's what I did. I don't need to get involved. Whatever's going on here doesn't involve me. I'm going to keep on walking. And because there was a car parked right in the middle of the sidewalk, Alma.
That is a weird thing. Like well, actually, no, it's not. Not in our neighborhood.
Yeah,
we've had cars haul up and like almost run into our porch from two different directions.
Right?
In two different seasons.
Yeah. We live right on the main portion of Crazy Street in Weird Town, USA.
But then you're walking and you find a little bit of weirdness.
Well, yeah, and I just kept on walking because what am I getting involved in that? That didn't involve. They weren't broken down. It didn't appear. There were no emergency flashers. I think it belonged to a guy who was surveying some other stuff for a utility company. And I mean, if you're in an adventuring party in Dungeons and Dragons, though, you're going to ask what's going on. You're going to stop. You're going to say, hey, we just wanted to see if everything was okay. What's going on here? I ain't going to do that. I'm not doing that now. I am not a Dungeons and Dragons character. And I guess that mindset, again, it's different because you're in a fantasy world playing a character. And you're supposed to be a hero.
I think our neighbor has the adventuring spirit because today in our ride, like going from school to school, she got a new vehicle. And it's an SUV, so it's bigger and it sits up higher. And she actually got distracted because she was staring in other people's cars now that she could see, like had better vision. So like she was actually doing what you didn't do. She was making her spot check to see what she could check out in other people's cars.
Don't worry, I made spot checks and all of that stuff as I walked past. Okay, it wasn't like I was just oblivious, but there's a difference between making a spot check and being a looky-loo and getting involved.
That's true.
And there are some folks who get involved, don't get me wrong, but I'm not one of those folks. By and large, you're in a Dungeons and Dragons party and you're walking at night and you hear a weird sound from inside the forest, and then you go check it out. Most people aren't going in the forest to check that out.
No.
But of course, most people aren't going underground into dungeons and fighting skeletons and things like that either, which are all routine for your average Dungeons and Dragons campaign. So I get it. It's not the same thing.
Well, you got into your own Dungeons and Dragons encounter with the guy that came on our porch and stole our broom.
All right, listen. What in the world was that about? So yeah, we're just sitting here in the middle of the day. We're sitting here in the middle of the day, and I said, somebody's on our porch. And then they left our porch, and I looked out, and I was like, somebody just stole our broom. So we've got a broom to sweep the porch. It's like an outdoor broom. Somebody just stole our broom, I said to Alma. And she said, really? Like, truth is stranger than fiction. Yes, really. Somebody just stole our broom. And, well, somebody, in fact, had stolen our broom. So I opened the door, and the guy is wandering off with our broom. And I was like, hey. And he said, oh. He turned around. All I said was, hey. He turned around. He's like, I thought this house was abandoned. I was like, well, okay. First of all, our house is clearly not abandoned. Second of all, I said, okay, it's not. Can I get that back? And he's, oh yeah, he gave me back my broom. And then he stumbled off down the street. And I just kind of watched to see maybe he was going to go steal something else from somebody else's porch. He had with him a fire extinguisher.
Oh.
So where are you going with a fire extinguisher and a broom?
A party.
I don't know. And I don't think he did either, because he was very stumbly, and I think he was probably drunk. If I had to guess, he was probably drunk. If he wasn't drunk, then there was something else going on, because he was clearly not 100%. But yes, he already had a fire extinguisher, which I don't want to assume was probably his fire extinguisher. That he was going to pair with my broom and do something awesome.
Because why else would you need a fire extinguisher and a broom? Like, of all the things that were on our porch.
I mean, yeah, we got a bunch of crap on the porch. It's weird that he singled out the broom. He's like, you know what? I need that. I need that.
He didn't want to take the flowered umbrella.
And like, you get caught, dude. You know, I thought this house was abandoned.
Well,
why? What? We've got flowers like in the yard with a cross.
There was a chalk painting on
My daughter had just drawn like a beautiful chalk painting. A chalk drawing. It wouldn't be a chalk painting.
But it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Chalking. It was beautiful. It was like a sunset on a beach with a reflection that she had drawn actually in the water. It was pretty cool. Gotta give her credit. Gotta give credit where credit is due, and that dude took my broom.
His footprints are on the porch from going through the chalk and on the sidewalk after he left. It's
true. It's funny because it's true.
You can't make this stuff up. But such is life in our neighborhood.
Yes, bro, indeed. Team, don't forget, if you're listening to the podcast, you can check us out when we do this live Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch, or not Twitch. It's on Kick and YouTube. Owndog creates on those platforms, Kick and YouTube. So check us out. 9:30 on those days. Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. But yeah, dude took my broom. So we were able to get the broom back. Broom crisis averted. No problemo.
Still can't believe that happened. But yeah, total D&D encounter in the real world.
We live in a weird place. Alma and I.
That's a random encounter.
That is, yeah, we rolled on the random encounter. Guy walks up, steals your broom. What do you do? Make a spot check. Somebody's on our porch. You see somebody on the porch. Wow. This is getting interesting. Yeah, so I'm glad I made my roll. Otherwise, we'd be broomless. You made your forensics roll. Found the footprints.
Yeah, I did. Well, I have to go out every morning, and I see them as I'm walking out.
Oh, I've seen them. There's two big footprints on our porch. Two big chalk footprints. Because yeah. So, Alma, how are you feeling today? It's a sleepy day.
It Now it is.
You were doing all right. Yeah, you just kind of hit a wall.
Yeah, I that's what's been happening. I get to the end of the night and I crash and I can't go anymore. But we're getting up early. We get up at like 4 in the morning.
Yeah, it's weird because the schedule with our daughters having to catch the bus and get their, their schools start pretty early. So it's been a weird thing getting up around 4 to make sure they're up about 4:30. It's almost like we're farmers. But we ain't got no cows to milk. We ain't got no chickens to feed.
But we got porches to sweep and brooms
Spot
to
checks
seal.
to make. Dude. I still can't believe that. I don't want to revisit an old topic. We're moved past that, but man, yeah. We could spend probably an entire episode talking about all of the weird things that have happened since we've lived in this place.
Oh my gosh. I like the one where we had the the stranger that broke the window. Not the stranger, the neighbor. Well, we don't know.
Yeah, we're not sure. We can't say that. I'm fairly certain it was the neighbor. I'm fairly certain.
Because they came back and checked how we were doing.
They did come the next day and just ask how things were going because they had seen the police here. And the police were here because someone broke a window. Like it was 3 in the morning. And they just smashed the window right here, like by where I stream.
And what was funny is I think they used our cross to do it because our cross disappeared. It was snowy out and our cross in the front yard disappeared. And after the snow melted, we found it laying in the front of the yard by the road.
The devil strip, as they say in our region. I don't know. What do you call that? What do you call that strip of land, team? Let me know in the comments what you call that strip of land. You have your front yard to the sidewalk. Then you have the little strip between the sidewalk and the curb. What do you call that? Here in our neck of the woods, we call it a devil strip.
Yep.
But I have heard it called other things. What do you call that?
I don't know.
You've always called it a devil strip, right?
Yep.
Alma and I have a few things that we have referred to in our family history as different things, but we're from the same region, so we don't have a lot of those differences. But yeah, I'm just curious what you call it. Like, I know when I lived in Indiana, for instance, they did not say pop. So it was unusual for you to go in and order pop. Here, that's what you call it. There, they just call it soda. They also don't say, do you want a bag? You want a bag with that? You want a bag for your candy bar or whatever? They call it a sack. This is just, like, you call it a bag, they give you a weird look. They call it a sack. So they called it soda and sacks. A sack of soda instead of a bag of pop. Alma, say some things.
A sack of soda sounds better than a bag of pop. How do you like that thing to say?
Well, that was something, wasn't it?
Oh, it always is when Alma chimes in.
You know, you never know. It's kind of like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Sometimes I just go blank.
That's true. Sometimes you do go blank. Jess over the YouTube chat says, we just say left side of the yard. No terminology besides that from what you've heard. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, that little patch is called a devil strip here. But I do know in various parts that's not what it's called. Either way, I do know this. That, my daughter just recently suffered a near miss riding her bike not my youngest daughter, not Dad's Day daughter, but my second youngest daughter suffered a near miss with a car, having to swerve and get out of the way. And, well, she got scuffed up. So it's her first kind of scuffing. I'm not sure if we talked about that on the last episode or not, because I feel like it happened
No, it
afterward.
happened. Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's the other big news, I guess. She's okay, but she did get banged up, nicked her finger real good as she swerved, hit the curb, fell off her bike, but her knee's got a nice big strawberry on it, and she's complaining now about how it all hurts and all that stuff. But kudos to her for not getting hit. But at the same time, this is the same daughter team that did get hit by a car, that did in fact get hit by a van crossing the street,
On
and then
April
said,
Fool's Day, Easter.
like I said, you can't write this stuff. And we ain't fooling. It really happened. And then she said, it came out of nowhere. And we have a big, long, straight street. It's a busy street, but that van didn't come out of nowhere. That kid didn't look before she crossed the street.
Right? But then we find out as she's elaborating on the story, you get more and more story out of her, the more engaged, she wants to tell her stories. And then you find out she was riding her bike with headphones in. Earbuds.
Both.
Both of them. Like, mind blown. like
Mind blown, right? Okay. One of the things they teach you in driving school is that you can't drive with headphones on. One of the things that you ought to know with your bike is that you shouldn't bike with headphones on. Now, to be fair, I don't know that I ever specifically told her that.
No.
Okay.
But that comes down to common sense.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like something that I should have to tell you. Like, you ought to just realize I'm riding a bike. This is serious business. I'm in the bike lane. There's real traffic coming through here with real consequences. I need to be alert. I need to be at my best. It just seems as though at some point that common sense bell would ring and you would say, no headphones.
But you know what? I'm going to tell you, as I was a kid, my parents always told me I had no common sense. So maybe she inherited the no common sense gene. That would stink. I didn't like my parents telling me I didn't have common sense. It hurt my feelings.
I mean, I guess it's not anything anybody wants to hear, but to be fair,
if you're about to hurt yourself,
wouldn't you rather hear it? Like, I guess that's really the question. Let's look at the flip side of that coin. Nobody ever clues you into the fact that you're kind of lacking in the common sense department. And first of all, it's not something that you should feel bad about. Everyone has strengths. Everyone has weaknesses. For some people, common sense is just not their forte. And that doesn't mean they're stupid. That doesn't mean they're dumb. Doesn't mean they're a knucklehead or dense or any other terrible word that you would want to put on it. Just means some people, certain things don't register like you would think they should. And that's okay. Some folks that I have known with low common sense, you would think, man, that person, they're totally lacking in common sense, but they're extremely intelligent, right? Very smart people, book smart. So we can't conflate the two, and I don't want anybody to feel insulted, but yes, at some point you would think the common sense would kick in and you would say, well, I can't put both headphones in. I need to be able to hear what's going on around me. And at the same time, not my daughter.
I just happened to look behind me. Oh my God. Like, come on, no. That's almost dying. Like, it's so bad. And she just wrote it off like good intuition.
I just happened to look behind me and saw this car was coming for me. Thank God I did.
something was off.
She couldn't even hear it coming because she had her earbuds in. Oh my god.
It's so bad. Just so bad.
People wonder why parents get gray hair, why they get those crease lines in their forehead. It's because of moments like this, because you make faces like, oh man, and then you rub your forehead, and it's jeez, and that's where those wrinkles come from. Gosh. So with that, we're hoping that our second one kind of trips and falls into some common sense.
She doesn't know she doesn't have it because she just told me she has great deductions or great skill at making decisions or something. Like, I can't remember. I'd have to pull up my text messages, but she actually told me that she has great decision-making skills. And I was like, earbuds on a bike? Like, not always.
Yeah. That's the thing, isn't it? Like, those who are lacking in common sense often don't realize they are. That's a thing I've heard of called the Dunning-Kruger effect, that says the least apt amongst us are generally the most assertively vocal. Another way of saying it is the people who talk like they know what they're talking about the most generally know the least.
Sounds about right.
Or are the least effective. So now I don't know if that's a true thing or not. I haven't done the research, but that's the Dunning-Kruger effect in a nutshell. Thank you. I'm here all week. Tip your wait staff.
Thank you. You are awesome. But
well,
you
I do what I
already
do.
know that.
I do what I can. So, with that said, Alma, you got anything else for this fine evening?
No, I think that's about it.
It's a wonderful Thursday, September 21st. We hope you're making a great night. We hope that, we hope you've been entertained as we've spent a little bit of our time here with you. I always say on my streams, not so often here on the podcast, but the most valuable thing that you have is your time. Whether you're big or small, rich or poor, you got 24 hours in a day, a limited number of seconds, a limited number of minutes, and for you to share a few of your minutes here with us tonight, listening, chatting, just being here, being your wonderful self, well, that's your most valuable commodity, your time. And so it is certainly a humbling experience for you to share a bit of your time with us. And it is a pleasure, Alma, I'll speak for you, but it's a pleasure for us to share some of our time with you as well.
Well, I'm glad to share my time with you and with everybody that's listening.
So with that, don't forget to make a great night and make somebody else's night great as well.
And tell somebody you love them.
That's Alma. I'm Owndog. Until we see you again, keep owning the evening.